Shalom uvracha. Today we're going to approach Perek Chavav in Sefer Bamidbar, chapter 26, which is a fascinating chapter that not only brings us back to the very beginning of Sefer Bamidbar by virtue of the fact that we find another census, a census that reminds us of the opening of the book, wherein Am Yisrael were counted for the sake of preparation for army upon what they thought would be imminent entrance to the land of Israel. Lo and behold, in Perek Chavav, we hear of a census for the new generation that will indeed enter the land of Israel, but not just for army, inasmuch as for inheriting the land, for knowing how to divide up the various families, the various tribes, for the inheritance in the land of Israel. And what's fascinating about this census is that we hear that it's counted in a very different manner than the census of Perek Aleph of Sefer Bamidbar. There, every tribe was counted. Each family, each one according to their tribe. But if you open up Perek Chavav, we find how is everyone counted in chapter 26? Every single family is mentioned. Reuven b'chor Yisrael, b'nei Reuven, Chanoch, mishpachat hachanochi. This time they're counted according to families. And one could argue that this is a much more tedious manner of counting 2.5 to 3 million people, or the 600,000 men that are going to enter Eretz Yisrael. So why this time according to Mishpacha? Here we have to turn to the context of the chapters, appreciating that it comes immediately after the sin of Baal Pa'or. To remind you, the sin wherein the men were involved in idolatry, but the actions were those of a promiscuous nature. We heard about Zimri, the Nasi of Shevet Shimon, who is going to engage in adulterous behavior with Kazbi Batsur, the princess of Midian, telling us that there wasn't just Avodah Zarah, but also Gilui Arayot. And therefore, as a result, HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells Moshe Rabbeinu, after Pinchas kills them, that's not enough. The people are going to have to go and fight against the Midyanim. They have to destroy those that allowed for such a promiscuous culture to infiltrate within the machaneh, within the encampment of Am Yisrael. And yet the Torah tells us, Vahi acharei hamagfa, after all those who sinned were punished, we're expecting to hear that the people then go out to wage war against Midian like Hashem had commanded. But instead, the Torah interrupts and says, no, time to count the people. Before we go ahead and start fighting wars against our enemies on an international level, we have to return and count mishpachot. We have to rebuild the nation. And how do we rebuild them? Not only on a tribal level, we have to begin by counting them by family.